I call this meeting to order. This is a regular meeting of the Northfield Public School Board. Today is Monday, September 22nd, and the time is 6 p.m. This meeting is being live streamed and recorded. The recording of this meeting will be posted on the district website as soon as possible. Welcome members of our community here tonight to observe the important work being done on behalf of all school district stakeholders. Dr. Hillman, we have some items in the table file.
Yes, we have a number of items in the table file this evening, including some additional appointments, increase, decrease, changes in assignment, a leave of absence, and a resignation.
If there are no objections, we will add these items to the agenda as we move forward. Okay, is there a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
Motion.
Thank you, Jeff. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Corey. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Our next item is public comment, and we have 4 individuals who signed up, so I will call you up momentarily. This is our policy on public comment. This is an opportunity for residents, business and/or property owners, parents, guardians, caregivers, students, and employees of the Northfield School District to address the board. All comments to the board must adhere to the guidelines set in place by District Policy 206 regarding public comment. This is not a time to debate an issue, but only for the board to hear your comments. You're prohibited from making comments about specific students, staff, and administrators. The board respects and values input, but when it relates to a specific individual or a specific matter, this input must be heard by the appropriate personnel, including the building principal or superintendent, and not during an open meeting of the school board. You will be gavelled out of order if your comments are not in compliance with these guidelines. Please address the board from the podium. After being recognized by the chair, identify yourself and if you represent a group. We require that you limit your remarks to 3 minutes. You are not allowed to yield your time to another person. It is expected that members of the public will address their remarks with civility and respect. Personal attacks on anyone addressing the board are unacceptable. The board has allotted up to a total of 30 minutes for public comment at regular school board meetings. I'll now begin to call those who have signed up to speak in the order in which they signed in. Vice Chair Corey Butler will be monitoring the speaker's time. He will signal each speaker with the time they have remaining at 1 minute, 30-second, and 10-second intervals. Please make your remarks as brief as possible, but no more than 3 minutes. So the first person to call up will be Karen Mader with Be Smart for Kids. Welcome, Karen.
I'm back. You all know who I am. I've had my kids graduated from here. I'm excited about and hopeful, I guess, because I was included and invited to a meeting at Dr. Hillman's office this week where about 10 of us got together to discuss gun violence, and there's some very exciting student initiative that's involved. My piece is making sure that the adult responsibility piece is still side by side, I guess. So Be Smart for Kids, I reached out to all of the PTO elementary school leadership people in an email to see if at their next meetings, their fall meetings, I could, somebody could present a short thing about Be Smart for Kids. And then the other thing I've done is I've reached out to Sarah Swan McDonald and Jennifer Lompart and Aaron Johnson and Tessa from Torch, because I've invited, students to join me at the Enough to End Gun Violence plays. They are written by students in the spring. They're submitted, they're chosen. So there's 6 10-minute plays that are presented, and they're doing it in 4 places in Minnesota this year on Monday, October 6th. You don't have a meeting, I'd be happy to take any of you. At the Landmark Center, at Hopkins Stages, in Marshall, Minnesota, and in Dilworth, which was just added. So it's just giving a voice to students. So there's many, many avenues that are being sort of reached out to. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Cece Lingstra. Okay, welcome.
My name is Cece Lindstrath. I live at 408 Lockwood Drive. I am here representing Age-Friendly Northfield. Age-Friendly Northfield is supported by the generosity of taxpayers to enhance the quality of life of the 30% of our community residents who are over 50. For something to be supported by Age-Friendly Northfield, it must have 4 pillars. It must have a physical activity. I'm going to drive you crazy going in and out with my bobblehead here. It must have a socialization component. It must be free, and it must be done in cooperation with another organization. The last time that I was here, I came to let you know about the wonderful collaborations that Age-Friendly Northfield was doing with community education. These collaborations have continued to be mentioned in your quarterly brochures. These include free Sunday pickleball at the high school. Last year, we had 644 members playing at the high school on Sundays. We've done Nordic walking, regular walking at the high school, and a new proposal with Community Ed that calls for partnerships between older adults and middle school students. Age-Friendly Northfield has participated over the last year in meetings organized to develop both the physical plan and the concept of a community gym. The plan for the actual community gym you will see tonight. It is great. The gym will provide for many great physical opportunities in a beautiful setting. We are thrilled. The walking track is just what the community needs for our older adults and anyone with any kind of mobility concerns, for safe and free walking during Minnesota's varied weather conditions. It's in a beautiful setting with only a little over 7 full laps for a mile. However, the next discussions will be more complicated as we develop the concept of a community gym and a schedule for the community place. AFN knows these discussions will be new ground for all of us, requiring creativity, flexibility, and compromise. We are looking for a way to blend our views. Please remember statements made during the referendum campaign that the older adults wouldn't get the leftovers. Your stewardship and our votes have brought us a tremendous opportunity for the many members of our community, over 30 and otherwise, for this great facility to be used in meaningful ways. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Carla Johnson. Welcome.
Thanks. Haven't done this in a long time. Dr. Hillman, school board members, my name is Carla Johnson. I live at 2014 Grant Drive. I currently serve as the interim executive director of 50 North, representing 2,200 members we serve through fitness programs, social activities, and educational opportunities. I'm also a taxpayer who voted yes on all 3 of the referendum questions for the Reimagine project in the fall of 2024. My son graduated from Northfield schools. My granddaughter is now in 9th grade at the high school. And with another grandchild on the way, my family's connection to this district will continue for years to come. I've seen the plans. They are beautiful. Part of me wishes I was that newly coming into the world little creature to be part of that school. In reviewing 50 North records, I found documentation from 2024 when the city, Northfield Schools, Community Education, the YMCA, and 50 North met to explore collaboration. At that time, the expanded gym was still referred to as a field house. Most compelling was a statement attributed to Dr. Hillman, and I'm just going to share that with you. The goal: operate a field house attached to the high school that also serves 50 North's members. All Northfield school gyms are full from 3 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. daily with varsity athletics. The district is seeking partners to make best use of a new fieldhouse space, which would include 4 full-size basketball courts, lines for pickleball, and an indoor track. Half of this gym space and the track would be available to 50 North members, the community, from 5:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and sometimes on weekends. School security, member check-in process would need to be addressed. Those ideas came together within the Reimagine campaign. As the Reimagine referendum was put together, these items were not just an internal discussion, they were a selling point to the community. A public flyer that was distributed at one of the meetings about the referendum at 50 North said it will also expand access for community indoor activities like pickleball and a walking track. 30 seconds. We fully recognize that student safety and security are paramount. At the same time, we ask to be at the table as those issues are addressed. Programming for the expanded gym can and should balance the needs of students with the health and wellness needs of the community members, particularly seniors who supported this referendum. I respectfully urge the school board and administration to honor the promise of expanded community access rather than treating it as an afterthought. Current presentations and conversation that suggest limited hours and a closed-off walking track create the impression that Northfield seniors are being overlooked as valuable partners.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank
Appreciate your
you.
time with us. Okay, our last commenter tonight is Andreas Turnhere. Welcome.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Andreas Thorn here, and as usual, I have a little bit concern with your project. And one of the concern is we have bike lanes here in town, and my question is, are we not connecting the schools to the bike lanes? I mean, this is a city question. It's a city question for you, and I would say this should be in there as well. That we are thinking about that people are walking or biking to school. The other thing is the building. Why we need 16 to 18 corner for each wing. It's unnecessary. It's just more envelope space or area, and that means you have much higher area of heat or dissipation or heat gain over the day. That means you need more cooling or heating capacity in your geothermal system. And this is for me a concern. The other thing is your window curtain walls on the entry side and the courtyard. These are large areas where you have an R value of about 4.5 to 5. If you have a triple pane, if you have a dual pane, which is standard in this country, you have about a value of 4 R value, which is very low. And you will have condensation. That means, again, you need baseboard heaters actually to keep these walls ice-free and condensation-free. It's also an energy concern. The other thing is the energy usage intensity of that building we have right now is about 70. You know that from the handout I had and also from the studies the consultants did for you. I would say for a rebuild like this, we should aim for 35 kilobtu per square foot per year, which is easy attainable. I mean, the Rockford, one of the Virginia project, which you have seen actually, has demonstrated that to get at least a 15% savings with very little effort. So I would like to see that too. But this is one thing you have to set as a goal for the design team, else they're not going to do this. And that's why I ask, is this possible to go better than 35 kilobtu per square foot per year on the design? Thank you for the considerations.
Thank you. All right, our next item is announcements and recognitions, which I hear there are none tonight. Okay. And now we move on to our items for discussion and reports. And first up, we have the DYC District Youth Council update with co-chairs Delphine Hawkins, and Atticus Mayer, updating the board about their 25-26 school year plans. Welcome, Atticus.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. So, as she said, my name is Atticus Mayer. I'm a senior at Northfield High School, and I'm one of the two co-chairs with my friend Delphine Hawkins on Northfield's District Youth Council. So today, I'll be presenting the District Youth Council's 2025-2026 update. And I don't know if you can hear, but I'm a little sick, so I'll try to not make that affect too much. So, first off, for those unfamiliar with what DYC is, the purpose of District Youth Council is to ensure a meaningful connection between the student body and the school board. So what this means is that every DYC member serves on a district committee. I myself am entering my third year on the policy committee. And also, every DYC member attends at least one school board meeting per semester, and every DYC member works on a DYC subcommittee, which I'll go into more details about later. Then lastly, throughout the school year, DYC hosts a multitude of events to connect the students of the NHS with the school board and vice versa. So what have these aforementioned DYC events looked like in the past? Well, during the 2024-2025 school year, we organized the Reimagine Northfield High School Referendum Forum, where we presented the details of the NHS referendum on last year's ballot to students. We also organized the School Board Candidate Forum, where school board members seeking election or re-election presented their cases to the NHS student body. We also held our annual school board brunch, which gives the members of DYC and the school board a chance to introduce and interact with one another. We also held a budget reduction forum where we presented last school year's budget cuts to the student body. And one more event we organized was the menstrual product distribution that takes place annually at the high school. So what will DYC look like this year? We will have 17 members. As I mentioned before, the co-chairs are myself and Delphine. Like last year, we will have two subcommittees, student relations, which will be led by Audrey Gilbertson, and board relations, whose lead will be Genevieve Knudsen. Like the name implies, student relations will handle relaying information to the student body and obtaining information from the student body about district-related subjects. Board relations will handle obtaining information from the school board and the high school administration, and also relaying information from the school, from the student body to the school board. Also, another big update, Emily Culver will be the new adult advisor for District Youth Council, replacing Martha Lundeen, who held the position for the last few years. A few potential events we look forward to this year include events relating to the new administration group we have this year, with an entire new principal and Mr. Dibble, and a whole new position in the Dean of Students held by Mr. Dubé. It's important that the students understand the changes in the admin team and get a chance to meet the new administrators. So also, we look to possibly add, in addition to the Northfield Public Schools website, or even a DYC focalized website, in order to expand our reach to an even larger audience. And our next and most possibly our largest potential project is the reintroduction of the Student Pledge Against Gun Violence. This was introduced back in 1996 as an effort to prevent student gun violence at the source. And since 1996, this pledge has lost its usage across the country. But recently, talks to bring the pledge back to Northfield have been had, and the originator of the pledge, Mary Louise Groh, who has many connections to Northfield, has joined the conversation to bring it back. So to be clear, this pledge is purely a commitment to gun responsibility and safety. It makes no comment on the Second Amendment rights. Along with the previously mentioned DYC events, we also have our two annual events in the school board brunch and the period product distribution. So lastly, I'd like to go over our goals for this year. So this first point, there are still plenty of questions involving the budget cuts from last year and to reimagine NHS topics, which are being asked by NHS students. So to even further broaden their knowledge of these subjects, So to even further broaden their knowledge of these subjects is very important. Another goal we have is expanding DYC's reach on social media to ensure our information can reach as many students as possible. And now, along with the student body, we at DYC would like to integrate the entire Northfield community into our reach. This goal goes back to the DYC website, or addition to the NPS website we previously mentioned, which we believe will help parents and other community members access the information that we provide. Lastly, we would like to begin to utilize the tabling resource that occurs during Flex at the high school. It's a great opportunity to reach students that wouldn't otherwise look into DYC or take the time out of the day to attend one of our events. So I really appreciate the opportunity to present in this school board meeting, and that this district has such a focus on involving student voice. With that being said, I'd like to open this presentation up for any questions involving DYC and this presentation.
Excellent. Thank you, Atticus. Board members, do you have any questions or comments at this time? Okay, Amy?
Thank you, Atticus, for taking over a leadership role in this group. And looking through everything you did last year, I'm blown away by how involved you all were, on top of being full-time students and doing all of that. So, and all your other activities. So thanks to you and your group. I think a lot happened last year. You were very helpful connecting the board to the students and helping explain things. So I really appreciate that. And I look forward to interacting with you and seeing what your group does this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy.
Okay. Anyone else? Question or comment? Okay, Corey?
I'll just echo what Amy said. I really commend the DYC for their engagement over the years, and particularly last year, there's a lot of big topics in play. And I'm not sure I've spent more time at the high school during the day in any given year than last year. And it was good to see all those events were well attended by students and really well engaged. And even like the handouts for candidates was great. So I appreciate the extra steps there to make sure students knew what was going on at the high school, going on with the bond, and going on with the election. I'm curious for this year, as the leader of this group now, what are you hoping for DYC this year? I know you have the goals laid out for the organization, but for yourself, what do you hope come May that you have accomplished?
That's a great question. So personally, I think I would like to see that almost every student in Northfield High School knows what DYC is. And that's a pretty hard goal to achieve, but I think it is very important that they know that we are a resource and we are available if they have any questions, and they can approach me or anybody else in DYC in the halls and ask one of these questions. So I think that's one of my main hopes and dreams for this year. Another one, I'll go back to the piece I said in the goals about integrating community members into our reach. We've had community members reach out. That's part of where the that's part of where the student pledge against gun violence came into play. A community member reached out to Emily, I believe, and Dr. Hillman, and so we are going to be integrated in that process, and I'm really excited for that. So yeah, so just expanding our reach to more people and making sure more people know what we are and what we are doing.
Thanks, Atticus.
Thank you.
Sure. Anyone else? Okay, Jenny?
Thank you for the presentation and all of the information. My question is, how do you obtain information or exchange information with the student body? Like what methods do you use?
Yeah, so in the past, we've used a lot of, we did a lot of forums, and we also did a lot of Google Forms. So especially the big one with the, I think it was 2 years ago, we did a big form that we presented. I think it was during CCR, and it had students list their complaints and list what they liked about the current school building and whatnot. So we were able to take that information and present it. I think we presented to the school board. Maybe we just presented to a forum. Yeah, so that was our main way of collecting information. This year, as I said in the hopes and dreams part, there's a great tabling resource that DYC has not utilized in the past, which happens during the lunch period flex, where just students walking, or we can sit a couple of members of DYC in like the middle, in between the cafeterias, and let students learn more information about what we are presenting and what we do, and any events we are taking care of there. So, and I think we're going to use that resource to gather a lot of information as well in this upcoming year. So I'm very excited to see how that works out.
Thank you.
Okay, Amy?
I'm just wondering if Emily Culver is here. I haven't met her yet. Hi, Emily. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you leading this group. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Atticus.
Thank you.
We're gonna, we have a little bit of an issue with that connection to the screen. So Tim, just before the high school presentation, is gonna reboot the camera system. So we'll just take 90 seconds or so, or a couple minutes. So you can hold on for just 1 second, and Tim's gonna reboot the system.